This is the shocking moment Slovakia's Prime Minister, Robert Fico, was shot several times in an apparent assassination attempt. Seemingly unable to walk after reportedly being shot in the abdomen, leg and arm, his security detail desperately bundle him into a car. While only a few feet away, the alleged attacker is pinned to the ground. He was detained and arrested.
I heard 3 shots. It was quick, one by one, like if you throw a firecracker on the ground. I think it's a nightmare. I think I won't wake up from this. This shouldn't happen in Slovakia.
Fico was airlifted by helicopter to a hospital in a nearby town. His injuries reportedly too severe to risk the journey to Slovakia's capital, Bratislava, just over 100 miles away. Earlier today, the Prime Minister had attended a government meeting in a cultural community centre in the town of Handlova, now a crime scene sealed off by police. After news broke of the assassination attempt, Slovakia's president called the shooting of her political rival an assault on the country's democracy.
Something serious has happened that we can't even realise yet. A physical attack on the Prime Minister is primarily an attack on a person, but it's also an attack on democracy.
She also referenced the political polarisation that has gripped Slovakia in recent months and urged calm.
Any violence is unacceptable. The hateful rhetoric we witness in society leads to hateful acts. Please, let's stop it.
Fico won a surprise third term last October, running on a populist agenda in clear defiance of the European Union and pledging not to send a single bullet to Ukraine. His opponents worry he is steering Slovakia away from a pro-Western course and aligning the country more closely with Vladimir Putin's Russia. Less than 2 weeks ago, thousands of people took to the capital streets to protest against a controversial overhaul of the country's public broadcasters, something critics say would result in the government taking full control of the media. While it's too soon to glean the alleged attacker's motives, the fear in Slovakia and around Europe is this: that the incident, rather than bringing a country together in pain, could polarise it even further.
Well, the press conference is currently being held confirming that the Prime Minister's condition is extraordinarily serious and he is still undergoing surgery. They have confirmed 5 shots were fired. Well, we can speak now to Vladimíra Marcinková, an opposition MP in the Slovak Parliament and the Vice Chair of the Committee for European Affairs. She's also a candidate in the upcoming European elections, and I'm sure you'll want to express your shock. But how stable do you think Slovak democracy is tonight?
First of all, good evening, and let me wish Prime Minister Robert Fico health and speedy recovery. We are all very concerned about what happened today and what can we see and what we live. Me as a politician as well, I also face many threats against me and my family lately, and it's very serious that we witness Slovakia being very polarized, very divided.
And at this press conference, they have confirmed that they believe there may have been a political motivation for this attack. And as you say, various politicians like you are saying that they have received threats, that the temperature of Slovak politics has shot up. What has been driving that?
Sociologists say that there are 2 absolutely different groups of people in Slovakia nowadays, which are approximately an equal size. For example, 50% of people believe in conspiracies and hoaxes here in Slovakia. The topics that divide us are currently the war on Ukraine, the COVID pandemic, vaccination that was quite heavy on society as well as anywhere else, but here even more, the influence of Russia, role of EU and Western democracies, queer community and question of their rights. And those are basically the topics that divide political dialogue, but also the society in general.
I mean, these are topics that are dividing societies across Europe and the world. And this is an extraordinary development. I mean, to what extent do you think the Prime Minister and his party and his coalition partners have also driven these divisions?
I think that now is not the time to look for, for the politicians that have name tags on these moods and on what's going on in Slovakia. Now is the time to step back for all of the political leaders, all of us, whole society, to step back and try to unite what is divided and try to calm the society, because it has been driven by fear lately. We could see it during presidential election, we could see it during parliamentary election, and we can see it even now during European election, when the fear of war, the fear of getting Slovakia out of European Union, possibly, or any others, extremities that are brought to dialogue, are driving these moods and these fears in society.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, history suggests that assassination attempts and assassinations feed precisely the kind of conspiracy theories and divisions that you've been talking about as rising in Slovakia. So while you say that now is the time to come together, how confident are you that that will happen?
I'm not very optimistic about it, even though I wish I could see these tendencies in all political parties and in coalition and opposition as well. It's not happening. We could see right after the assassination attempt that there were spreads of hatred among politicians and polarization of opinions, and really I would say heavy words towards opposition or towards other politicians, and that's something that we should now put aside, and we should now really focus on communicating well in terms of calming the society, because this is heavy and this is difficult for everybody, not only for the supporters of Prime Minister, but on Slovakia in general. This has never happened in our democracy, and I think it's very, very heavy on European Union politics and situation in European Union as well.
Indeed. Vladimir Marcinkova, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Kieran.
Thank you.